Welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you're managing cloud infrastructure today, you already know the stakes. We are tackling one of the absolute most urgent realities of modern security, risk management and access control. Because, honestly, the way your organization handles its most powerful admin accounts is literally the difference between a secure environment and a catastrophic breach. Today, we're locking down your cloud infrastructure by mastering Microsoft Entra Privileged Identity Management, or PIM. Let's jump right in.
Reducing attack surface and blast radius. I want to start with this exact phrase because it perfectly frames the problem we're solving. Blast radius. It's exactly what it sounds like. If a threat actor actually manages to compromise an administrative account in your cloud environment, how much damage can they do? If that account has permanent, unrestricted access to everything, yeah, your blast radius is massive. The whole organization is at risk. Our goal today is to figure out exactly how to shrink that blast radius down to virtually zero.
To get there, here's our game plan. We'll start with 1, the standing privilege threat. Then 2, meet Microsoft Entra PIM. We'll cover 3, key capabilities. 4, scopes and core requirements. And finally, we'll see 5, PIM in action. All right, part 1, the standing privilege threat. Let's talk about the 24/7 access problem.
So, historically, IT departments have leaned heavily on permanent or standing admin privileges. Basically, if you're an administrator, you hold the keys to the kingdom 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have those keys when you're sleeping or when you're trying to enjoy a beach vacation. Leaving those digital doors wide open 24/7 is just a massive, unacceptable risk in a modern cloud environment. On the flip side, we have just-in-time, or JIT. This restricted modern model fundamentally changes the game because it strips away that permanent power entirely.
Which brings us to Section 2. Meet Microsoft Entra PIM, the ultimate cloud security key. So, what is it? Microsoft Entra ID Privileged Identity Management is a cloud service that lets you manage, control, and monitor access to your most sensitive resources. And the beating heart of this service is just-in-time access. Users do not hold administrative power permanently. Instead, they request and receive elevated privileges only when a specific task requires it. Think of this brilliant concept like a hotel key card. When you check in, the front desk doesn't hand you a master key that opens every single door in the building forever, right? No way. They give you a key card that works only for your specific floor, only for the few days you're there, and they only hand it over after you've shown your ID. PIM does the exact same thing for your cloud infrastructure.
Moving on to Section 3, Key Capabilities of PIM. Let's see how this actually shrinks your blast radius.
It's incredibly cool how these 4 mechanisms layer together to lock things down. First up, we've got time-bound assignments. You don't just get access forever. Your role access automatically expires after a pre-configured time frame, say just 2 hours. Next, approval workflows. Admins can mandate that certain highly sensitive roles require active approval from specific individuals or groups before they can even be turned on. Third, enforced verification. When someone tries to activate a role, PIM can force them to complete multi-factor authentication and even require them to write out a justification note explaining exactly why they need the access right this second. And finally, access reviews. This one is fantastic for long-term hygiene. PIM runs these automated campaigns, forcing teams to periodically recertify who actually still needs to remain eligible for these roles. If someone switches departments, boom, their access gets caught and revoked automatically.
Section 4, Scopes and Core Requirements. Let's talk about what you need to deploy this governance.
PIM is incredibly versatile because it actually blankets 3 primary layers of your infrastructure. First, you've got your Microsoft Entra roles, so your built-in and custom directory roles, like Global Administrator or Help Desk. Second, it protects Azure roles. That's your Azure RBAC governing your subscriptions and specific cloud assets. And third, which is ridiculously powerful, is PIM for Groups. This lets you restrict membership or ownership eligibility to security groups. Because it's group-based, you can actually extend this just-in-time access to outside applications like Intune or Azure Key Vault. Now, obviously, to actually turn this on in your environment, there are a couple of strict technical requirements. For licensing, any user who's eligible to activate a role, or even just participate in an access review, needs to hold either a Microsoft Entra ID P2 license or a Microsoft Entra ID governance license. And for management permissions, you can't just let anyone configure these policies. Only users assigned to the Global Administrator or Privileged Role Administrator roles have the authority to actually set this up.
All right, the fun part. Section 5, PIM in action. Let's take a look inside the interface.
Right here is the centralized Get Started dashboard. This is essentially your command center. Administrators can easily manage the entire life cycle of role assignments from one single pane of glass. Over on the left, you've got your tasks, My Roles, My Requests, Approve Requests, plus options to manage access or activate roles just in time. It's all built to show you exactly who has what and enforce those policies effortlessly.
I love how Microsoft takes this super complex governance concept and distills it down into a highly visual, four-pillar workflow. You have Assign, where you set up the assignments to ensure users have just-in-time access. Activate, where users actually go to turn on their eligible assignments. Approve, where managers can review, approve, or deny those activation requests. And Audit, which is absolutely crucial. This lets you view and export a full history of all assignments and activations so you can spot any potential attacks and stay fully compliant.
So what does this actually look like for an administrator assigning a just-in-time role? It's literally just 3 quick steps. Step 1, select the desired role. Step 2, select the specific member. And Step 3, configure the assignment type and duration.
Here in Step 1, you can see just how easy it is to target a specific resource. Notice how the resource type is set to the directory, and they've gone ahead and selected the AI administrator role from the drop-down menu. It's highly specific and highly targeted.
Once that role is selected, we move to the final steps. In Step 2, we're just searching for and picking the specific user or group from the directory that needs this access. But take a look at the settings configuration for Step 3. This is the absolute crux of everything we've been talking about today. Notice how the admin is setting the assignment type to eligible rather than active. That means the user does not get the power right away. They just get the right to request it later when they actually need to do the job. You can also see the exact start and end dates being set right there, enforcing that strict time frame.
As you can see, Microsoft Entra PIM makes it incredibly smooth to transition your organization away from that scary, permanent access model and into a secure, just-in-time reality. It gives you the oversight, the workflows, and those strict time-bound controls you absolutely need to eliminate your blast radius. So I want to leave you with this one provocative question to think about. Who in your organization currently holds permanent keys to the kingdom? I highly recommend you take what we've covered today, audit your own environment, and see exactly where you can start locking down those standing privileges right now. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and stay secure.